here's the thing. I had more manga coming, but been stuck in the postal service for about a week. It just says, hey, you know what? It's coming, but it's gonna be late. That was a week ago. So about 15 volumes are just out there, just somewhere. So if you see them and they're coming to me, send them my way. You know, just come on. But I decided to go ahead and do the Manga Haul for this month, and hopefully, by August, those packages will find their way to me. Please, there's some very interesting manga that I really want to read in those packages. So, just all, hey, come on, man, hey, man, please. But actually, I picked up some really good manga that I've actually read already. Because again, I've been waiting for the other packages to get here and they're running late. I don't know if you heard, gave me time to read this manga. So we'll start off with like the pre-orders, the stuff that I actually haven't gotten to because they're in a longer series. You guys know at this point. Dragon Ball Super, Volume 18. Hey, you know, I got the shirt, I got the stuff over there. You guys know, of course. I'm actually very far behind on Super and I really do need to catch up. You're right. They are streaming the superhero movie on Crunchyroll, and I checked it out. It's a great comedy starring Piccolo. Call of the Night, Volume 12. If you guys have been around on this channel, you know about Call of the Night, where I really wasn't into it, and then I was like, no, this is special. I really like Call of the Night. I think it's a great manga. I mean, it's about vampires, but we move past that. No Longer Heroine, Volume 3. This might be the last volume of No Longer Heroine, because while I think it's such an interesting premise, right? Like, you know, this girl thinks, you know, she's supposed to end up with this guy and stuff like that. And what if she is not the main heroine in the very interesting premise. Something's just not catching me. Hopefully Volume 3 catches me. I really do like this yellow. This cover. Yeah, hopefully something in this volume catches me. If not, you probably won't see me pick up a Volume 4. Sakamoto Days, Volume 8. Yeah, right. You're right. Hey, I love Sakamoto Days. Continue to love Sakamoto Days. I think Sakamoto Days is one of the best ongoing Shonen Jump series there is. It's so fun. It does action, it does comedy, it does everything that I think a really good Shonen Jump title does. It is cookie cutter, but not in a bad way, because it also adds its own little flavor to it, and the characters are really good. Man, I can't say enough good things. Yeah, you know, I know, we all know Sakamoto Days. We know. Furion Beyond Journey's End, Volume 8. It's Furion, and you know, I'm gonna continue to say the stuff that I always say, where I think Furion started off posing a lot of cool questions, and I do need to catch up. I think I'm on like Volume 4 or 5, maybe. I do need to really catch up. The anime is coming out, so that's going to be super exciting. I think while it hasn't gone the way I would have liked it to go, it still is worth checking out if you kind of like fantasy, you know, Lord of the Rings. Journeys. Beyond Journey's End. Journey. Like Journey, you like fantasy, I still think it's definitely worth checking out. Blue Lock, Volume 7. It's Blue Lock, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you've heard about it. You've heard me talk about it. I am not to this volume. I am actually 2 volumes behind, Volume 5. But it's still such a great time. I think it is a fun action sports shonen title. It's not my favorite sports shonen title. That's reserved for something else. Look how massive this thing is. Look at this. It's huge. It's huge. I found this on a deal, right? I'm gonna put this down because it's not light. That's the thing. It's not. It was on booksamillion.com a few weeks ago, and it was half price. It was $25 instead of the $49.99 that MSRP retails for. But it was only online, so I actually and shout out to the person at the Books A Million. I ordered it online, picked it up in store, right? Because there's a Books A Million somewhat close. And the lady, apparently they pulled one and it had a little tear right here. She said, nah, let me go get you another one. And she got me this clean copy. So you sometimes don't see that in customer service stuff where they don't care what your stuff looks like. They're just like, that's the one that got pulled. That's the one you're getting. So that lady, really awesome. But yeah, it's the art book, and I'm such a big fan of Haikyuu. I think Haikyuu is probably up there, at least in the anime. I'm working my way through the manga now, but at least in the anime, like top 5 anime of all time. I think that anime is so spectacularly well done. I think the characters are so interesting. I definitely had to pick that up, especially 50% off. Listen, I'm not gonna 25 bucks for that thing. Absolutely was gonna pick that up. Then we got Fist of the Northstar Volume 9. You guys know how I feel about Fist of the Northstar. It is the grandfather of this shonen stuff. It is so fun. It's fun. It's fun. Big dudes hitting other big dudes. Like, it is just so fun. And I am definitely going to continue to collect these and read these until they are completely caught up with the manga and complete. I love these hardcovers. I love this story. Go Go Loser Ranger Volume 5. I'm a huge Power Rangers fan. Grew up watching Power Rangers, and I think the comedy aspect, if you have that nostalgia for Power Rangers, I've said this before, is through the roof with this manga, and I think it's such a good time. It is such a good time. Okay, and moving on to the manga that I have already read, and I've actually already done a video on one of these. And that is Sword of the Demon Hunter, Volume 1, Sword of the Demon Hunter, Volume 2. Like I said, I've actually already done a video talking about this. You guys should check it out if you're interested in it, and I go more in depth into this stuff. But I think what really just took me back by this manga is I had no idea. I'd never even heard of this. And I was at the Booksman, again, picking up that Haikyuu, and I ended up picking it up and picking up the 2 volumes because I think they were also running a buy 2 get 1 free at the time that I picked this up. And it's set in the Edo period of Japan, and it's kind of about this princess and her protector who grew up with each other, and they kind of have a really good backstory and kind of like romantic tensions and stuff. And then with his sister, his sister is... They added some really cool fantasy elements to what could have been like just this romantic story. And it definitely has that Inuyasha feel to it. And I don't know, there was something, the characters really drew me to it. And like I said, I talk about it all in this video. Go check out the video if you haven't yet. But yeah, I've actually read this and I highly recommend it. It's very good. And we also have Homunculus, the Volume 1 Omnibuses, which is Volumes 1 and 2. I read all this. This was a big thing in the manga community. Like, people were hyped that it was getting released. Here's the thing. I think the story is so interesting. Basically, it's about this guy that is kind of homeless. Feels like it is a choice that he's homeless. And he gets propositioned by this young doctor who is from a wealthy family to basically drill into his head and open, you know, his third eye in a way. Because it's not really spoiling it. He does accept it, and he starts seeing people as monsters. And their monsters are kind of what they are subconsciously doing. Like, a big story is this guy's in a robot. Like, he sees him as, like, this robot monster, and come to find out he has some childhood trauma stuff, and he's built up this robot. It's kind of this kid in this robot, building this armor around himself. So the ideas are really interesting in this manga. Very, very interesting. I will say the pacing, it can feel a little slow at times, but I am definitely going to stick with it because I think the author can do a lot of really cool storytelling elements and good drama elements with this premise of this person is able to see what everyone's kind of hiding beneath the surface of themselves. So I think the premise is really cool. I think there's a lot of interesting ideas. While this first volume did feel a little slow in parts, I did overall enjoy it. March Comes In Like a Lion. Let me tell you, okay, I have heard of this name, March Comes In Like a Lion. It's about a shogi player, and kind of he is brought in with this family and kind of, you know, his struggles with wanting to kind of be perfect. And he has this trauma that happened to him. It literally says it in the back. He lost his family. Boy, let me tell you, I think this manga is so good. I think it is. Man, it's one of those like legendary titles everyone's, you know, kind of heard March Like a Lion. I think the anime was super well received. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about it when I picked it up. I just heard the name and I was like, oh, I'll definitely check it out. I'm ready for a volume 2. I am so ready for volume 2. I really actually liked his buddy. They're in a shogi tournament, and they kind of, at one point, the art switches to like this shonen art protagonist. So it has this comedy element with all this drama and personal life, slice of life type story. And I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. If you can add good comedy and good drama and slice of life elements, I'm going to be there every time. And I think March comes in like a lion, knocks it out of the park. Mermaid Scales and the Town of Sand. Here's the thing. I read this entire thing, and, you know, the premise of it is this daughter and father move back to the hometown of her mother who ran away from them. And this town is kind of known for maybe having mermaids. There's like rumors around, right? And people are like, no, mermaids aren't real. And some people are like, yeah, the mermaid, I've seen them. And I'm not going to go too much more into that aspect of it, because that's kind of this journey these two young characters go on. One searching for his brother, and the main girl, I think I've took it away from this, is kind of searching for her mother. Throughout that story, she's kind of coming to terms with her mother not being there, and coming to terms with everything her father does for her. I think this could have really hit me, and I think it's worth a read, but something fell flat. Something really did fall flat, and I don't know what it is. Like, I've thought about this multiple times before I was even going to talk about it and stuff. I think what it was is I didn't super love the ending. I think that's what it was. I'm not going to obviously go into the ending, because I think you should read it, because maybe the ending won't fall flat for you. But I think the journey to get to the ending was good, was great. And I think by the end of it, it fell apart a little bit, the way the author took the ending direction. And I can't literally say anything more than that without spoiling it, and I'm not going to spoil it for you. So there you go. That's Mermaid Scales in Town of Sand. I love this cover. This cover, dude, this cover is so nice. But absolutely an enjoyable read. I think the ending falls apart, though. And the final manga, not that I've bought this month, but that I'm in possession of, because again, United States Postal Service has my packages somewhere. It just says, hey, you know what it says? It's in transit to the next area. It's in the system. Cool, man. Cool. Been 2 weeks, but cool. And for the final one, Prophecy, the Complete Edition. As you can see, I'm actually reading it. So I'm halfway through. So the premise of this one is someone's kind of playing with this detective, like attacking the city, doing YouTube videos and stuff, and like saying like, hey, it's on. I'm coming for you. And then the other half of this story is the detective trying to hunt him down. So basically it is 2 parts of a story. One part is so interesting. One part is so interesting, which is the part of, you know, the attacker. Maybe multiple attackers, maybe a squad. Hey, listen, I don't want to spoil anything. Maybe I don't know, you know. Then you have the detective and the people, you know, chase him down on the police side. Not as interesting. Kind of boring. Like, it is so cookie cutter, but not in a good way. Like, it is. And I think it doesn't help that the bad guys, like backstory and motivation and all this stuff, is way more interesting than I'm just hunting them down, you know. And again, I'm like halfway through, so maybe it pivots, and by the end of it, you know, you learn about like maybe the detective and stuff. Hey, maybe when you have a bad people or group or person, singular, I don't know. So interesting. And then you immediately have to switch gears, and then you're back to the detective of like, yes, he uploaded a video and it's got a bunch of views, and oh god, what are we gonna do this? And like, no character development for any of these. Like, the main detective, she's very like hard-boiled, like no nonsense. Just comes off as, oh, that's stereotype number one, trope, you know. And not giving her any, she's not really, feels like really a full grown character. Instead, she just kind of feels like stereotype detective. So it makes those parts slow. The pacing of the manga kind of in my opinion, struggles with that because your pace, like, ooh, turn the next page, so intrigued, you know, when you're at the back, yeah, and then the police part, you're like, I guess I could put the bookmark in there and save it for another day. But I still actually think that if you like movies like Seven or Crime, CSI or NCIS or, you know, anything like that, I think it is an interesting read and worth picking up because, like I said, it's probably like $15, and it's the complete story. It's all of it. I think it is interesting enough if you like that genre that you will probably have a good time with it, because really the only bad thing that I can say about it is I think halfway point, the detective police part is not very interesting. But I think it is made up for because the bad guys are singular. Multiple, who knows? I don't know. Not gonna spoil it, you know what I mean? Their part is so interesting that it's worth checking out just for that section of the manga. So yeah, there you have it. Those are my Manga Haul pickups that I received, that I currently received, not that I placed, that I received, post office. Like I said, I kind of liked doing this a little later in the month because it gave me time to actually read some things and give you some thoughts of the series that I'm currently reading from my manga hauls, which let me know down in the comments if you enjoyed that or if you just wanted to be like, we're unboxing, opening, showing you the covers and stuff like that. Because I definitely wanted to try to do it this way and see if you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, also let me know. Be like, hey man, no, I like when you unbox it and you know you're talking through it. That's if you enjoy it, yeah, it's cool, man. And also let me know what you picked up in the month of July. What you're excited to read. If you read any of this stuff and let's talk in the comments down below. And as always, I really appreciate those that made it to the end of the video. It means the world to me. And I hope if you're having a bad day, it gets better. If you're having a good day, it becomes fantastic. I'll see you next time.